Good afternoon everyone, happy Friday. Welcome back to a new little news update video. We have had quite a few things change this week, so I thought I would film a little bit of an update for you. I do have a little bit of a gap to come down and speak to you all, so if you are new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button. We've got loads of different Tenerife videos on there. You'll get a good feel as to what's open, what the vibe is over here at the moment. So we will jump in and start where we always do with the COVID figures, the COVID update. Now we have had another increase again on the Canary Islands. It is a bit of a problem right now. We are going up and up, unfortunately. We've got 690 new cases. This is as of yesterday, so as of Thursday. Friday's numbers haven't quite been released yet. So as of yesterday, 690 new cases. Again, an increase. 391 of those are in Tenerife, which is the worst affected island, followed by Gran Canaria, 231 new cases there yesterday. So Gran Canaria and Tenerife are the main problem, especially us here in Tenerife. We do have the most. In terms of deaths as well, we have had 2 deaths on Tenerife, which is not good. And also patients in hospital is up as well to 267 currently in hospital with COVID-19. So still a problem there, still increasing, which is not good. On the other hand, vaccinations are up. We are nearly over the 50% mark now of the population being vaccinated. Total administered now is 2,150,326. So we are still going well with the vaccine, but we do have that increase in COVID numbers, which is starting to disrupt a few things. I'm sure a lot of you are worried about your holiday. We will go into that in a moment. We'll start with the figures there, which have unfortunately gone up. With those figures going up, Tenerife did review its situation yesterday. We have stayed in alert level 3, which is good. We didn't move into level 4. I didn't think we would anyway, because level 4 isn't really going to target the area where the problem is. The problem is the young people meeting up, gathering, no masks on and things like that. Level 4 would not really target that area. So we have stayed in level 3, which is good for now. Having said that, the increase in figures has made some countries change their situation with the Canary Islands. So starting with Germany, this was last week, has placed the whole of Spain and the Canary Islands on its risk list for travel, which isn't the most severe, but they have deemed us a bit of a risk now for our latest figures being so high, which is a bit of a shame. That might put some people off coming over. The next news was that the Netherlands has added us to their red list. So anyone who is here from the Netherlands now that is vaccinated, they can go home, no problem. If they're not vaccinated, they have now got to go home and take a test. And TUI have cancelled all of their flights and holidays to the Canary Islands from the Netherlands. So we have lost a big chunk of tourism there. The Netherlands are very popular for the Canaries. We've got a lot of them over at the moment. A lot of people renting the cars as well from the Netherlands. Unfortunately, they're not going to be travelling now for the next at least a few weeks. It looks like they have cancelled all of those holidays and flights for a little while. I think there's only, I did speak to one person from the Netherlands today, and he said there was only one tour operator that was trying to still do a few holidays, but it looks like we're not going to get much at all from the Netherlands anymore, which is a big shame due to our increase in figures. So it is starting to take an effect now. Staying on that, we did stay on the UK amber list, which was good. A lot of you were worried we would go red. We stayed on the amber list. Hopefully we can reduce these numbers. I think if these numbers do go up again, we could see ourselves on the UK red travel list. We need to try and get these numbers down. So thankfully we stayed amber with the UK, and we stayed in level 3 restrictions as well. There was worries of level 4 and going on the red list for the UK. We did stay as we are, which is good for now. So a lot of you ask, what does level 3 mean? What are the restrictions? A lot of you are as well getting a little bit confused with the Spanish traffic light system, which does give us a red light. A lot of people see that traffic light system, I'll put it up on the screen now, and they think Tenerife has gone red. That is just the Spanish traffic light system for the alert levels. So because we are alert level 3, we do have a red light, but that doesn't mean we've gone onto any red lists for the UK or travel lists or anything. That's just the Spanish traffic light system for their own alert levels in the country. So that's nothing really to do with travel, so do be careful of that. A lot of people are getting confused. They see the red traffic light and think it's red and we're in lockdown and we can't travel and things. That is just the alert level system that they use. So in general, you are going to have to keep your distance. You're going to have to wear your mask inside or anywhere that you can't keep distance outside. In general, you don't have to wear the mask like now, but if you're on the promenade and it was busy, you might have to put your mask on. The restaurants and bars are closing at 12 PM. They are on strict rules there, so they will all close at 12 o'clock. The Spanish government, or the Canary Islands government, did try and bring in another curfew, which was going to be imposed from 11 till 6 AM, 11 PM to 6 AM. That didn't get passed, but they are still closing at 12, these bars and restaurants. And they've brought in some other little restrictions, for example, closing the beaches from, I think it's 10 PM to 6 AM, things like that, where people don't need to be going onto the beach. Little bits like that, but they didn't pass that curfew. It didn't get through the High Court. Other restrictions are, obviously, when you land here in Tenerife, you will have to show a negative PCR test or your proof of double vaccination 14 days prior to travelling. So as long as you've had both vaccines and it was before 14 days of you travelling here, you can just show your proof of vaccine and get through. If you haven't been fully vaccinated or it wasn't, 14 days prior, you will need a negative PCR test to travel in. Again, a lot of confusion with that. A lot of the people are reading this Spanish website the same as me, and I read that to believe that antigen tests were accepted as well. When you dig a little deeper, it does seem that it's only PCR tests that are accepted. So I'm going to go with that. I'm sure a lot of you will comment if I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with PCR test. It does seem to be the only one that they are accepting now. Antigen doesn't seem to be possible, despite it seeming to say on the website that it would be. Very confusing. So again, if you are traveling here, you haven't got your double vaccination, you'll need a negative PCR test to get through at the airport here. Children under the age of 12 do not need to have a test. Now, obviously, once you're here, you're going to enjoy your holiday, have fun, whatever it is you're here to do. Upon returning to the likes of the UK and the Netherlands now, if you do need a test to go home, for the UK you do, Netherlands you do, I did make a video a few weeks ago of where you can get your PCR tests here in Tenerife, where you can get your antigen tests and the prices. I'll leave the link in the description for that video. You can watch and see where the cheapest prices are, where you can go and get those tests done. The most popular at the moment seems to be the one next to the Arona Gran Hotel in Los Cristianos. That does seem to be the most popular. The antigen tests there are €35, very quick. You can turn up on the day. I would recommend just popping in a couple of days before just to make sure you do have a space. It's all going to depend on demand. At the moment, you don't really have to book in advance. You can just turn up with your passport, take your flight details with you as well, just in case, and obviously your money. But it's €35 in there. It does seem to be the most popular. Test results are coming out within about 15-20 minutes. Job done. So that one is next to the Arona Gran in Los Cristianos, that one there. That's the one my mum and dad used as well. They had no problems at all. So you would need that test to board the flight here to travel back home to the likes of the UK, and I imagine the Netherlands will ask for that as well. You do need to show it when you get on the plane here on the Tenerife end. When you go back to the UK, as long as you are fully vaccinated with both jabs, you no longer have to quarantine. You will just have to show that you have booked and paid for a second day PCR test. You can book them online. I recommend going on the government website. On the government website for the UK, there is a recommended section of where you can book and pay for all these tests. They're government recommended, so I would go with those. You can trust them a little bit more. They are on the official government website. So make sure you've got that booked and paid for before you travel back to the UK. I imagine, again, same for the Netherlands or some of these other EU countries that do want tests when you get back. So you don't have to quarantine, but you will have to show those tests. If you're not fully vaccinated, you do still have to quarantine, and you do still have to do those PCR tests as well. So I hope that clears it up a little bit for you with that one. I'm just going off what a lot of people do, email me and message me, and what I see every single day, people asking. I'm trying to answer all of those questions for you as best as I can, which isn't easy sometimes. Now, some of the other questions I've had this week, the likes of, will there be another lockdown in Tenerife? You know, the media is making it look very, very scary at the moment. Here, it's all quite relaxed. People are, you know, trying to follow the rules, but there's no widespread panic of another lockdown or anything like that. I highly, highly doubt another lockdown, especially if they didn't even pass the curfew from 11 PM. I doubt they would get away with doing another lockdown, so I highly doubt that one. Could we go into alert level 4? Again, doubtful, because it doesn't really target the problem, which is the younger generation, the younger section of people meeting up, partying and things. So again, I doubt level 4 as well. I did say that on the live show that I did the other day, that I did very much doubt that. I think it will stay level 3. We've just got to try and get these rates down. They're doing different things to target those areas, like closing the beaches. They did break up a big illegal party up in Guargacho the other day as well. A lot of young people gathered, no masks on, so they are targeting those specific areas that they need to. And a lot of other people, you know, is it busy enough? Is it worth travelling? It looks like a ghost town. All I can say is that everyone who's here, that I've spoken to and that I see, are having a great time. No one has said, oh, I wish I hadn't come, it's quiet, I don't like it. Everyone is having a great time. There's definitely enough open. There's enough for you to do. The boat trips are running. All of the excursions are on. Everything is as it was in a way. It's just going to be a bit quieter. There might be a few restrictions on. There's a lot more restaurants and bars opened up again this week. The likes of the Tourist Steakhouse restaurant in Los Cristianos is now back open. That's a very popular one with a lot of you guys. That tourist restaurant group. So they've started to open their restaurants. Things are starting to spring back up. There's definitely enough open. There's enough places for you to eat. There's enough places for you to drink. There's enough hotels open. But if you're expecting to come and the promenade be full and it be like the good old days, you're not quite going to get that. It is going to be a different Tenerife when you come, but it's still going to be a good Tenerife is what I'd say. Everyone here is enjoying it. It's safe, great fun, great weather as you can see, which does bring me on to the next point. We have had a heat wave the last few days. It's been very, very hot. We've had a Kalima come in, so you can see it's a little bit hazy in the skyline. It's been very, very hot. We have had a couple of heat wave warnings. A few of the islands did reach 40 odd degrees at some point, so it's been very, very hot. Great for the beach, great for sunbathing. The ocean's lovely and clear. So I would say it is worth coming. Just don't expect it to be as, you know, the same old busy, booming, bustling Tenerife it used to be right now. It's going to be a little bit quieter and you are going to feel a bit of a difference. Another little piece of news here, you can obviously read all these, I will leave the link in the description, is that Wizz Air have announced they will start operations from their new base in Cardiff, which does include flights to Tenerife as well. So there is going to be a new route from Cardiff to Tenerife with Wizz Air. What I do find funny is though, since that announcement where we've stayed on the amber list for the UK, Wizz Air have cancelled a lot of the flights, so I find it quite funny. They're cancelling a lot of the flights to Tenerife, but then they have come out and announced this new route from July 30th from Cardiff to Tenerife, which isn't even that far away, but they're cancelling flights into August, Wizz Air, so I find that a little bit strange. But hopefully when things go back to normal, there will be this new route from Cardiff in Wales over to Tenerife, which is fantastic. They are quite cheap as well, Wizz Air normally. Just not quite sure what's going on at the moment. They've cancelled a load of flights, but now they're announcing a big new route in a couple of weeks. Seems a bit of a strange one for me. And overall, that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything. If you do have any other additional information or particular comments or things that you think should be spoken about, do drop them in the comments. Everyone likes to read the comments, read through. If I have missed something, do let me know. I've done my very best. I am human. As you can see, a lot of these websites are confusing. So from my perspective, the Spanish website said that antigen tests were accepted. On the UK website it said they weren't. It can be very confusing. I hope I've made that all a little bit easier for you. Given my views from over here in Tenerife as a business owner, as someone who's working here, living here, I think the island is not as bad as the media may make out. I know a lot of people are quite worried about their holidays and lockdowns and things. I would say, you know, stay calm. Don't worry about it that much, because we are trying to get a grip of the situation. It's not as chaotic and scary over here as it's probably being made out to be in the UK, in the British media, things like that. There's no second lockdown, there's no level 4, there's no red list. It is an increase in figures. It's not great, but we are trying to get a grip of that situation. The flights and the airports are still busy, flights still arriving, holidays are still going on. We just need to get a grip of those numbers and get them down a bit. A lot of people worried about their August holidays. Again, hopefully I wouldn't worry. I think those numbers will come down. They've really got to get a grip of the numbers, because it's going to be devastating for the island if we do end up going on some form of red list or level 4 and things. It's going to devastate a lot of businesses. So I do think we will get our act together in the next week or so and hopefully get these numbers down, because it's going to be pretty bad for the islands if it does take a turn for the worse. But for now, I'd stay positive. Everyone here is having fun. Everything is as it was last week pretty much. Those restrictions going on, you can still come and have fun. My dad is back out next week. My mum and dad are also booked for August, so that shows you our feeling within the family. We are still ploughing on with our plans. We don't see any changes or drastic things happening. If you did enjoy that, do please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up as well, drop your comments, and we'll see you maybe next week. If we do have some more news to run through, I will do another update next week. But for now, stay positive. Look forward to your holiday as well. Don't get too tied up with all people talking, different rumours and things. Stick to the facts. For now, we stay on the amber list. We're still in level 3. The same restrictions as has been for the last few weeks. Holidays are going on. Flights are going on. You should be fine. Thanks very much, guys. Stride on, and hopefully see you soon.